Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. Who had Katt Williams for Man of the Year on their bingo card? A lot of you have seen this interview that he did in January on Club Shay. He made some startling statements, particular about a guy by the name of Diddy. And this past week, we found out that maybe he might have known a little more about what he was talking about than people maybe first thought. I broke out just a very short segment of what he had to say about Mr. Diddy back then in January, and I'd like to play that to open this. And then we'll move on to a little more in-depth analysis of the music industry and Mr. Diddy's place in it. And then we'll conclude with a reaction to Tom MacDonald's song, The Music Industry, which is now almost 4 years old, but was also very prescient, telling us what was going on.
Big Dick Deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is.
Big Dick Deviants are all going to be catching hell in 2024. Okay, and Mr. Diddy is one of those big dick deviants, I guess. He wasn't far off on that one.
Big Dick Deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Well, I believe a plant is somebody who is made famous deliberately without regard to any particular great talent, but because they're willing to carry the message that the owners of the record company would like to see. How'd I do, Katt?
Wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves. Is that I'm
Hallelujah on that. And we've had way too much of liars creating fake narratives in the last 4 years. So I hope he's right that this is the year when all the lies get exposed, not just Diddy's.
quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
Well, apparently that was the problem, that too few people were willing to tell P. Diddy no. Of course, P. Diddy had ways of being very, very persuasive. So Jason Whitlock now has a show on Blaze TV, but before that, he was mainly known as a sports announcer for ESPN and other stations. As a black man, perhaps he has a better view of the hip-hop culture than a lot of us, and I thought his comments were really, really interesting.
P. Diddy, I don't know what the hell is going on with him, but I'm hearing talk like he is the new Jeffrey Epstein. Can you tell me this story?
Yeah, let me tell you why it's important for you and your audience, and we're trying to get a broader perspective on what's going on with Diddy. And it's about the music industry, and it's about the push for nihilism and how they have manipulated our entire American culture to be more nihilistic. And they've done it with music, and hip-hop is at the forefront of that. And so Diddy is someone of marginal talent who's been installed and who has been allowed to use the music industry to sexually compromise young people, celebrities, other entertainers, politicians. The part of the realization and understanding we have to come to is like everything in culture. Tucker Carlson talked about this a couple of weeks ago about just like architecture and how
everything.
It's not the same as it used to be. And so in all the arts, they're trying to push us towards a nihilistic worldview, and they've done that with hip-hop. And P. Diddy is one of the faces and most powerful people in hip-hop. It's not just Diddy. It's like BlackRock and Vanguard, they actually own the music industry and control the music industry.
Wait. The investment houses of BlackRock and Vanguard, they own the music industry?
Absolutely. From Sony Music Group to they're the most invested in the music industry. They're the most through Viacom. They own BET, MTV, VH1. They're in control of the music industry.
I guess that shouldn't come as a surprise because BlackRock and Vanguard are pretty much in control of most of the major corporations in the world. But I guess I hadn't really focused on it as the music industry being included in that. It has many, many implications. Is it starting to get clear yet?
They're in control of the music industry, and they also own the overwhelming majority of stock in the private prison industry. This whole hip-hop deal was about creating a culture where, like, prison is a rite of passage, and corruption and criminality is just built into the system, and it feeds the prison system, the private prison industry, and it's exploded. But more than anything, it's promoted a nihilistic view, and a view that life really has no meaning, and it's disconnected us from our moral principles and religious principles. That's what Diddy is the face of, and that's why I'm glad he's getting his comeuppance, and I hope that they don't do a cover-up and not expose everyone involved, because, and it's not just hip-hop, music has been headed this direction and pushing us in a nihilistic direction for a long time, and this needs to be discussed and exposed. This isn't limited to black kids or the urban inner city. The way they've pushed hip-hop and made it the most popular music in the world, and they pushed it in sports and pushed it everywhere, it's affecting everyone.
What was the halftime show on the Super Bowl this year and in many of the previous years? Talk about pushing hip-hop. Big business, big money, and big culture. They pushed hip-hop to become the most popular music in the world. And not only do they profit from the deterioration of our culture with private prisons, as he points out, but in many, many other ways, they benefit from the destruction of American culture.
The way they've pushed hip-hop and made it the most popular music in the world, and they pushed it in sports and pushed it everywhere, it's affecting everyone.
You listen to music now, and it is disgusting. I challenge you to listen to especially hip-hop and some popular music of that genre, and I challenge you to find a song that isn't talking about somebody's butt or putting something in somebody's butt. It's incredibly degrading.
That was my exact reaction because I hadn't paid that much attention to hip-hop. First time I heard Cardi B singing WAP, and we know what that stands for. This is popular music? This is what parents are allowing their children to listen to? Have they lost their minds? I actually called up a friend of mine who has 4 young girls. And I said, what do you think about Cardi B? Oh, well, it's harmless. No, it's not harmless at all. It's very degrading.
Incredibly degrading.
Glenn, for someone like myself who's 56 and who grew up on R&B music, R&B music used to be a lot of romantic love songs.
Yeah.
You can't find in R&B or hip-hop, love is not remotely on the table.
No.
You go through the Billboard Top 100, it ain't about love. Not remotely on the table. If you want to listen to music that promotes love between a man and a woman, you got to go listen to music made in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Or farther back. You can go all the way back to the 1930s, 40s, 50s. I'm a little older than Jason. I'm 73. But I grew up on rhythm and blues and soul music, Motown sound, and Marvin Gaye and all the great artists of that era. And almost every song was about man and woman and love, or 90% of them were. So for those of us who grew up in that culture, We don't recognize the culture of today. We don't understand the young people of today who have grown up in that culture and apparently have lost sight of love as being the most important human emotion that you can have. Love for someone of the opposite gender, even, if I dare say so.
It's just disappeared. This is intentional. They've just removed from the culture.
What is Diddy accused of doing?
Drugging young girls and young men, sexually compromising and leveraging the entertainers that work for him. There's allegations of shootings and murders and things like that that have been cleaned up.
How does that happen?
It's not my world, so I would only be speculating, but these are the types of allegations that have been going on. And again, Diddy sexually compromising, forcing his entertainers into having sex with him, with men, with women, and then using his house and cameras everywhere in his house. So when he would throw these parties, if there were celebrities or politicians or prominent entertainers there, he'd have everything recorded. And so those people would be compromised. And so, yeah, they're calling him the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry, and I don't think it's a bad label. Diddy comes from a compromised background.
If all that's true, it sure sounds like what Jeffrey Epstein was up to. But of course, we suspect that Jeffrey Epstein was doing it either for the CIA or the Israeli Mossad, or both, for political purposes. Who's to say that Diddy wasn't doing similar things? The surprising thing is that he was busted, or apparently he's going to be busted. They searched his house quite thoroughly, his houses, both in Los Angeles and Miami, took all the hard drives out of his computer, took his phones. They're going to have a lot to watch there. I suspect it won't end well for Mr. Diddy, unless he's given an out somehow along the line, because what he was doing was actually what powers that be perhaps wanted him to do. We'll see.
And so, yeah, they're calling him the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry, and I don't think it's a bad label. Diddy comes from a compromised background. His father was a drug dealer and got murdered when Diddy was just 3 years old. And so what the rap music world really, where they fish for talent, is in all these broken, compromised, dysfunctional homes. And so Diddy likely sexually abused when he was a child, and obviously father murdered, didn't grow up in an ideal environment. He'll do anything for money. That's why he gets installed and promoted and put in a position of power, because he's easily controlled, because he comes from a background where the values just weren't instilled. And again, this whole nihilistic view of the world and all the breakdown of the nuclear family that they've pushed, they're destroying the family structure so that our kids are more vulnerable and will be more easily seduced into wickedness and a lack of morality.
Yeah, sounds about right. So there's been one voice crying in the wilderness for many years about the pernicious influence of hip-hop and the recording industry, and that's Tom MacDonald, a Canadian rapper who became famous with his first hit in 2017 called Dear Rappers, talking about how he grew up on hip-hop, but now is beginning to question the message that they delivered to him. And since that time, he's done many songs along that vein, but probably the most direct attack was in 2020 when he recorded this video about the music industry.
Look at all the rappers that the game's killed. Record labels making billions, why can't artists even pay bills? You get taken advantage of if you take deals. They're the devil, ain't no angels in the outfield. You get you chains and a bracelet, maybe a fake grill. You get you paid and you're famous, baby, it ain't real. Couple milli think you made it, but the record label take it when you overdose on alcohol and pain pills. Give me a pen and a pad, I'm gonna get in the lab. I'm gonna kill 'em with tracks, I'ma deliver the facts. Nobody holding me back, labels are tricking the fans. Rappers are industry plans, everything planned. I ain't brain.
Rappers are industry plants. So we're right back to what Katt told us and what Jason told us. Some of our rappers, especially the ones with the big labels, are industry plants, which means they're there to spread a message that the owners of the record companies want to get out. It really doesn't matter if they're all that talented because they have the power of the star-making machinery behind them. Large amounts of money buy promotion and get their music heard. Tom is showing us with this video. He's going back and forth between clean version of the Lamborghini designer clothes and this version here, where he's back in his leather jacket. He's got the word independent painted across that beautiful car, and it looks like it's about to burn up. Well, that's his opinion of all those things that he could have had. They aren't worth it. They aren't worth selling your soul for to the devil.
Live for the facts, nobody holding me back. Labels are tricking the fans, rappers are industry plans, everything planned. I ain't brain dead, never signed a deal, it don't make sense. Never let a label manipulate what I've made yet. Invading the industry independently, I break in. Kill the gatekeepers with a blaze, leave the gate bent. Mainstream rappers see the fame, wanna break bread. So lame for sale, never sell out, trying to pay rent. Illuminati puppets, the industry, hail Satan. The devil making deals, I'm gonna shake hands. Independent.
Did you hear the devil there laughing in the background? Ho, 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 ho. We've got you now, sucker. I gotta admit, when I first saw this song a number of years ago, I thought, is it really true that the record industry is in league with the devil, that they're actually the Illuminati? But by their works you shall know them. And if they are the ones supporting the practices of people like Diddy, then you've got to say they're evil. Evil in the extreme. And when you look at the result of what they've done to our culture, it's all bad. I can't think of much positive that's come out of hip-hop other than the people reacting against it like Tom.
Trying to pay rent, Illuminati puppets, the industry, hail Satan. The devil making deals, I'm gonna shake hands. Independent, underrated, these other rappers all hate it. Going viral with no label, with no manager or agent. Call my mama, I got comments and the money going crazy. And she crying, trying to tell me that she's happy for a baby. Like, ooh, ayy, finally got that deal, got a pen in my hand. Ooh, ayy. Like, how you trying to buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash.
So apparently he had just held a meeting with some record company executive to see what they would offer him. And that was the actual contract that they did offer him, which he tore up. The real problem with those types of contracts is signing your life away. Sure, you might get a big pile of cash, but they own you. They own your image. They own your name. They own your music. They control what you can record, what you can release. It's not much of a deal if you want to be telling the truth. You want to be independent. And that's why he just tore it up.
Ooh, ayy. Like, how you trying to buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams, how can you sleep? It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry. Artists really only want to chase dreams. We're broke all our lives begging labels, please take me. Tricked us into thinking getting deals is a great thing. Spend our whole careers trying to break free. The fans say they love us, trying to give them music they need. Label doesn't like it, that ain't mainstream.
So exactly what I just said. If you try to record something that cuts a little too close, damaging the narrative, sorry son, that's not mainstream. You can't produce that. You can't record that. You can't perform that.
The fans say they love us, trying to give them music they need. Label doesn't like it, that ain't mainstream. You're looking in the mirror like what happened, man, this ain't me. I guess that I just don't see what they see. Give me a mic in the booth, I'm gonna die for the truth. I'm gonna fight for the youth, I don't got nothing to lose. Labels are hiding the proof, look, I'ma give you a clue. Illuminati symbols are the logos major labels use. They're calling me an industry plant, I giggle and laugh. I'm the total opposite of what they want, I'm spitting the facts. I make songs about the honest things you whisper to fam. I've exposed the government, they wanna kill me for that. I put the pedophile sex cults on infinite blast. I leaked the industry secrets and I did it with rap. How dare you try to say that my intentions aren't acting, that my vision is a pillar of their intricate plan. And when the man
Yeah, so that's a very common tactic. Accuse somebody else of doing exactly what you are doing. People like Diddy are industry plant. They won't admit that, but they will turn around and accuse somebody like Tom MacDonald, who's totally independent, of somehow being an industry plant. It's ridiculous, and the things he just said there are absolutely true. He does speak the truth about the government. He does expose the pedophile ring. He does tell the truth about so many items. They try to knock him down by calling him an industry plant. It's ridiculous.
How dare you try to say that my intentions aren't acting, that my vision is a pillar of their intricate plan. And when to manage my decisions, independent gold plaques. No, you won't see my initials on official contracts. Independent till I'm dead or I'm a bitter old mad. Middle fingers, I'm a missile that they can't hold back. Like, ooh, ayy, finally got that deal, got a pen in my hand. Ooh, ayy. How you trying to buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams, how can you sleep? It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry. Miss me with all of that industry talk. Work my whole life for the things that I have. Why would I give you the keys to the car? If you just gon' drive while I pay for the gas, I ain't gon' come to your meetings no more. Told you already, ain't giving you half. Y'all can't wait to get your feet in the door, then lock me outside while you steal from my fans.
Can't wait to get your feet in the door and then lock me outside while you steal from my fans. And why should I give you the keys to the car when all you're going to do is drive it and make me pay for the gas? Pretty good description of what the record company would like to do to people like Tom and others who are less fortunate and fell for that line.
You have, y'all can't wait to get your feet in the door, then lock me outside while you steal from my fans. Keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams, how can you sleep? It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry. Keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams, how can you sleep? It's all rap hoes, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead, I quit the music industry.
And for those who don't know, his videos are mainly produced and edited by his girlfriend Nova Rockefeller. It looked like on this one she had a little more help. But Nova actually was a hip-hop artist who was signed by a record company early on before she even knew Tom. And she went through that whole mill. Eventually got herself out of that contract, but it took a very long time. And she was so burned by the experience that when she met Tom and told him everything that the record companies were doing, it probably saved him. I'm going to show the very end of this video because there's one more little gesture that expressed his feelings pretty well. There's Tom MacDonald giving the moon to the record industry. Tom is a little bit of an acquired taste because mainly of his appearance. He's got the face tattoos, he's got the piercings, he's got the long braided hair. He's rapping, which is a musical style that most people have rightly dismissed because they're only familiar with the 90% of rap that is negative to the culture. But Tom figured out the best way to reach the youth of America and to wean them off of all that negativity is to use their language, to use their rap musical genre and turn it back. It's been a long fight, but he's had a lot of success, and hopefully if this Diddy thing ends up the way we hope, and then the people behind Diddy are exposed, that's probably more important than whatever happens to Diddy. He was just messing. Tom is my hero. He's the reason I started this reaction channel. I've done more Tom reactions than to any other artist, and can't wait for whatever he's got coming down the road next. But let's not forget some of these oldies but goodies.
Apparently, P. Diddy's homes are being raided for sex trafficking allegations. You're telling me the guy who rapped, "I won't be satisfied till all my brothers get it, see you hit it, and then I hit it, turn a freak to a bisexual, and if she's flexible, F the brother next to you." You're telling me the guy that rapped that might be a predator? Shocker. Personally, I didn't trust this guy after he had Tupac killed. That was the red flag for me. Can we make sure the security cameras wherever they lock Diddy up are working? Because we all know what happened the last time a billionaire got arrested for the same thing. Epstein! Pardon me. And now Diddy's been accused of sleeping with like a bunch of mainstream artists. Meek Mill, Usher. You know what the best part about being an independent rapper is? P. Diddy doesn't try to you. Like these claims coming in about P. Diddy make R. Kelly look like a Teletubby. And he peed on people. But you know what the craziest part about this whole thing is? There's still rappers out there who would gladly let P. Diddy bone them for a little fame. Stay away from the mainstream entertainment business. Stay away from P. Diddler. And stay independent.